Welcome back to another episode of Porch Theory, where we have unfiltered conversations, but sometimes it is necessary. I'm Tristan, and the coolest brothers in the virtual room with me, Nick.
What's good, my nigga?
What's up, my brother?
It's good seeing you as always, bro.
As always, how you been?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing well. Before we even continue on having a conversation, make sure you go ahead and like, share, subscribe, give us some hype. Follow us on our Instagram and our TikTok pages where you see all the clips and stuff that we post on there. Just show us some love and we'll love you right back.
You know, it can't hurt.
It can't hurt to show some love. So
Really
let's move
can't.
forward.
Yes, sir.
You know, we got the finals going on. We got state of play that's happening.
Oh yes,
I'm
currently watching the finals right now.
Yeah. The Knicks are actually in the finals, which I find hilarious. And
Why do you find it hilarious?
because the Knicks, from a casual perspective, have been like the butt of basketball jokes sometimes, and I find I don't want to say joy. I find it humorous when I see Stephen A. Smith suffer because of the loss of a Knicks, or they'll play highlights of them making mistakes and whatnot. It's almost as if they have like this his expectations of the Knicks is, dare I say, comparable to how the Cowboy fans have their expectations of their team.
I mean, I can agree to a certain extent. I actually want the Knicks to win just because I'm Dallas over everything, and I can't stand to see the Spurs fans happy.
And
People
that's
be like-
perfectly fine.
People
And-
are like, oh, you don't want Texas to win? No,
No,
unless it's Dallas,
it
I
doesn't
don't
work
want-
like that here. No,
No.
I'm fine.
Unless Dallas wins,
perfectly
I don't
fine.
care. And we're not
Yeah.
in theirs. And plus, I wouldn't be mad to see the Knicks win after, them being so maligned all these years. And plus, I would love to see what the current state of affairs would look like in New York, especially with Mondani
I
being
do.
mayor.
I want to see
Them
the
people
chaos.
finna tear up the city.
I want to see the chaos. To be frank, no disrespect to Mayor Mamdani over there, because he's trying to
You ain't gonna be
to
able to
stay
save
cool
that
and
city,
whatnot.
man.
But I'm like, hey, I kind of want to see the consequences of letting the Knicks win another championship.
So what said they had to go hire Trey Young?
I
Please,
wanna
they
see
have to
that
lock that
happen.
man away.
And plus, I don't know. As a Mavericks fan, I just think it's cool to see Jalen Brunson in the finals. It's like, oh man,
Yeah.
It's like you used to be on the team, man, but now you're on the bigger and better, and so it's kind of bittersweet. I'm like,
I would love to see.
he
Brunson
could have
get
won a
ring.
championship with the Mavericks, but he's been phenomenal.
No,
And the fact that the Knicks have not lost a game since Christmas.
what? No, they hadn't lost a game since like the first round.
Oh, okay. There we go. I got my information wrong. My bad. But yeah, they haven't lost a game since the first round. I find that highly impressive. I'm just amused by the whole thing, and I'm not here to buy into the Wimby hype just yet.
I mean, I think Wimby is one hook shot away. Like at first, I was thinking about comparing him to Wilt Chamberlain,
Mhm.
but when I think about it, his game is more predicated on speed and length. So he would be better served developing a hook shot that since he gets pushed off of his space and his base so easily. I don't think it would lend itself for him to gain 15 pounds of muscle, kind of like a Giannis or someone like that, because I think it'll hamper the way he plays and the way he moves about so freely and fluidly. I think he just needs to develop a good hook shot, get in that 8 to 10 foot range and just be automatic like that. I think he's more meant to be Kareem than he's meant to be a Wilt or Hakeem Olajuwon.
Like I said, I'm just not into the hype yet. I mean, great player, phenomenal player, beautiful gowns, wonderful gowns, but I'm just not into it yet. And maybe it'll just take some time for me to appreciate the player that he is. I mean, I see that he's talented.
I mean, for me, I don't like the early anointing because right now it's just, even though he's so impactful defensively, he just doesn't seem to, and he's a young, of course, but there's times where it seems like he disappears on the floor, or for someone of his stature and height, which I think a lot of it, that's what goes into the hype around him, is just his uniqueness as far as his physical size.
Mm-hmm.
I think for that, the impact that's on the court, it just comes and goes. But also that's the Spurs style. They're more of a team over individual type culture. So I think he's in a good situation, but I think people need to stop with the LeBron Jordan conversations, because one of the reasons why I say LeBron's the GOAT is because look at what he got drafted into, and then look at what Wimby got drafted into. He got multiple top 5 picks on his team in a great culture with Pop still coming back and a bunch of other players that are willing to support. Not everyone can get into a good space like that.
I do want to bring something else sports related, if you'll allow it, where I'm not a Wimby hater. No, but by all means, I'm not. I'm just not. I acknowledge that he's a great player. I'm just not going to buy into the hype just yet. Like where it turns into fandom, if that makes sense. But one player sense. I do not mind being a hater towards.
Who that?
I don't mind being a hater towards Caitlin Clark.
Same.
I don't mind. I do not mind, because from a casual sports perspective, the Caitlin Clark that fans think she is really Paige Beckers.
Mm-hmm.
From my perspective, based on what I've seen and the highlights and the discourse in sports media related to Caitlin Clark, I don't buy the hype with her. And based off of what I've seen, she's a traffic cone. She's a defensive liability.
That's disrespectful.
But you're the sports expert, so I would love your dissertation about Caitlin Clark. As of now, this is like what, second, third season?
Third season.
Third season? Okay.
Yes. And it's annoying just how they wanted to anoint her so early when I didn't understand it. Yes, she's a leading scorer in college basketball. Okay, good for her. But she didn't win. And I can't remember. It was a comment that I saw on one of her defensive plays, and they were like, "You can just look at Caitlin and the way she plays. She ain't never hoop outside." Real hoopers know what that means. She ain't never hoop outside, because the way that she acts and the way she gets into it with other players on the court is like, you ain't never been on the concrete trying to act like that.
But we've seen her demonstrate that behavior with another player last season, and based on how she was talking and interacting with the leadership in her team, leadership, i.e. coaches, and it was cavalier. It was as if, based off of what I saw, it displayed a behavior as if she knows more than the people who are leading the team.
Yes, exactly.
That's how I absorbed it. Who was the other player that was with her? Like, was it Sophie Cunningham?
Oh, I can't stand that woman either.
Is that her teammate?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those two, Tweedledee and Tweedledoo. They're the ones acting up this past season, and there wasn't a lot of discourse about it last season. But then you start seeing more and more of it this season, and how she was interacting with her head coach. Lately, how Kate Clark has been just acting as if she's untouchable on the court, or when she tried to draw a foul, and I just thought that was it was weak sauce.
Oh yeah, when she jumped into she
jumped into the foul and it wasn't called, and the play was continued anyway. Like they were still playing while she was trying to bark at the refs.
And I think my biggest issue is, well, let's watch this just so that way we can give context to kind of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm putting my hands up. What else do you want me to do? You know what, Raven? Get in. And I'm not here to say that players having dust-ups with their coaches is a bad thing. It happens in, you know, in the fire and all that. But what she was getting onto her about was playing defense, and the person she subbed her in for
was Raven
their
Johnson?
assignment was to get out. Raven was to get out there and start playing defense. Now, there's some credence to how last season when she wasn't in, how they performed, and I think that that may be a bigger thing to talk about. Just to say that some people have made sense that they maybe should switch her to a shooting guard role, kind of like an Allen Iverson, where even though they're small, they still have them in the 2-guard role because they're better off as scorers than facilitators. And they'll look at her super high assist numbers and be like, well, why shouldn't she be the point guard? It's like, well, she has also high turnovers as well, too.
Can you do me a favor and just explain to listeners and viewers like why people perceive Paige Beckers as the ideal player of what they think Caitlin should be?
Because Paige is a PR gift. She's easy to work with. She freely goes about kind of being almost philanthropic with how she interacts with others, and everyone loves her. She's God-fearing and lets her faith show, and that resonates with certain crowds too. So it's not like she's Caitlin, who's hush-hush about everything and just likes doing this whole I'm moot, and I don't have anything interesting about me besides that I play basketball.
They don't have that MAGA dog whistle playing around her.
And she wouldn't play about that because she would also probably push back against that because she grew up with people and cultures that would basically, she grew up with us. So there's no way she would be a Trump supporter.
Skill wise as a player, can you?
Oh, skill wise, it's not even fair. Like, Caitlin is good at long range shooting and coming off a pick and roll and getting downhill and trying to get to the rim. She was great at that in high school and in college. But you also have to look at where she went. She played in Iowa for high school and college. The competition versus an Angel, Olivia Miles, Ozzy Paige were going up against is different. And that's why her team couldn't win in the national championship. Sorry. But also, her game isn't diverse enough. Like, Paige she's a 3-level scorer, which means she close to the rim, mid-range, and 3-point line. She's a consistent shooter. So she has a more well-rounded game and also has more try on defense than Caitlin.
I saw Discourse about Clark describing her gameplay similar to let me pause. They were describing her gameplay as if when she was playing in Iowa, her teammates could make up for the flaws or for the mistakes that she made. And so that's what made it appear as if she's such a skilled shooter, skilled player. But now transitioning to a team where she's not the star player, she's not the role player. Like you're playing with Aaliyah Boston. She's another number 1 draft pick as well. And she's talented too.
Your teams are better than you.
And so we're seeing the mistakes that she makes, and the team doesn't pick up that slack for it. It kind of impacts the entire team when she does it. Whereas with Iowa, they were able to recover and display an image of her skill level. Is that safe to ask?
I agree, and also I don't think that her current teammates are as beholden to her as her teammates were in college. That'll be the big thing there. The big difference.
By beholden, you mean like they don't rock with her as much?
I don't believe so. And that's just because it's like all of us had to fight to get here. And also, I think there can be something. I'll let her fans be right on that one. There can be resentment towards the fact that you came into this league, hadn't done anything. It was all based on your college reputation, and everyone basically anointed you as the face. And you're not even better than the current best player in the league. You're not better
You're
than
not
a
better than
lot of
Asia
the players
Wilson.
in the league. You're not better than Asia. You're not better than Chelsea. You're not better than Stewie, in my opinion.
Brianna.
Yeah, like, you're not
Mhm.
better than Paige, in my opinion.
Great
Like, I'm
shooter.
sorry.
Gowns,
Yeah.
beautiful gowns. Yeah, great shooter.
And they tried to make it out like, oh, she's Steph Curry. She just, I don't like her game, but I don't like non-well-rounded games unless you're
Mhm.
just so dominant. But she's too loose with the ball for her style of play, in my opinion.
I don't
But
mind
she,
the Clark discourse, the Clark heavy criticism. I find it amusing.
what killed me was watching, especially black ones, sports commentators flipping and starting to call it out. Like Shannon
Mhm.
Sharp and them, they were singing Caitlin Clark praises and all that. And now it's like, she can't be doing all that. I'm like, she's been like this. Y'all were just going
She
with
was,
the hype.
as I said, she was displaying that behavior last season.
But they knew that it would get them clicks and views because Caitlin Clark supporters don't love to hear nothing but good things about her. Even
Mhm.
though, and I think Caitlin Clark did more damage to WNBA than helped it because she introduced a lot of fans that did not care about the game. They just cared about having a white knight. So when they're talking and getting into the discourse, especially like when you go on social media and a lot of her defenders, they'll just throw up random stats. It's like, you don't even know basketball. You're just saying stuff. And it's like, see, why is it? See, look at what Caitlin Clark did against Angel Reese. Why would a forward/center be guarding a guard? You mean, what did Caitlin Clark do against the guards of the Atlanta?
Yeah, as soon as I see, because I look at the comments because I want to know what people are thinking, and people will tell you. I was always told never look at the comments, don't look at the comments, but I need to see what y'all are saying, and I've come to the conclusion whenever I see anything that is disparaging towards Angel Reese and she has nothing to do with the Caitlin Clark content whatsoever, you don't know ball. You're just I'll just say it. You're racist.
They just
And-
throw her in there for no reason.
yeah.
It'll be like, look at, they wish they. I remember, it was something I was watching, and it was Caitlin Clark popped up, and all you see is on there. It was about Caitlin. Apparently, Caitlin threw up at halftime last night against the Dream, and the first comment I saw was, "I would throw up too if I had to watch Angel Reese playing ball." And for me, it's like, I love sports and I love talking mess,
tripping?
but it's like, what? Angel Reese is better than Caitlin Clark at this point.
Stat wise.
No, overall, she's a better player. She does more. She actually plays defense, and her offensive game is consistent. People may not like how it looks, but it's consistent.
When you see those comments about me bounds, what goes through your head, man?
It makes me more upset when it's people that I know have adequate ball knowledge that go into it just because it leans into that whole manosphere thing, which I've always tied the manosphere to black women hate, because that's all it is where you'll have a sensible man, but they'll see a confident black woman and feel the need to humble her. And I feel like a lot of that comes down to that, where they're just trying to.
It's so strange.
They want to demean everything that she's about and does and belittle it just to put her in her place because she comes off confident.
It's strange. It's strange, and then it doesn't even help when it's a brother. When you see someone in our community do it, it's like, why do you think making that type of joke, or I don't know if you truly believe that deep down in your heart. I don't think you truly deep down, or I don't think you understand the weight what you're saying when you put that stuff out there. I don't think you truly understand.
Oh, I agree. And I'm the same way when it comes currently right now to and it can tie back into like the whole Kevin Hart situation where during his roast, Tony Hinchcliffe had that joke about George Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
I tie it back to now, or especially in the space that we're in, that if you're black with influence and a platform, you have to be aware that we have to protect blackness and the identity that we have to a certain extent. And it comes with like a Kevin Hart, good and well, that type of joke can do damage. And it's not just under the veil of, oh, it's just comedy, everyone should laugh. We're not in that time period right now where those type of jokes should just be allowed to fly off without being checked.
Can I say something about that Kevin Hart thing real quick?
Mm-hmm.
So I find it frustrating when edgy white comedians immediately find humor in toying with racism and then hide behind the veil of it's comedy and you got to be a sport, when as a black person we've always been a sport about comedy. We've always been the butt of the jokes. So much so that your jokes have turned into disenfranchisement, where now it's an issue. It starts off with a joke and then all of a sudden it goes to blackface.
Yep, it starts to snowball.
I feel like there are ways you can make edgy, racy jokes without being harmful to a community.
I feel like it's what I can't remember what comedian said it exactly, but they said if your brand of comedy is based solely on offending people, then you're not really funny.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Like look at the cooked comics of the old days, like the Aries Spearses of the world, Corey Holcombs and all that. Like
there's no place for you in this world, and like you have a small corner.
Corey Holcomb's jokes stayed at these women. She gotta do better. You right, fellas? They get stuck on that old. I'm a man, so you should laugh at the funny man stuff I say comedy.
It's really just old bitter unk shit. That's what it is. It's old bitter unk shit.
That's all it is. And they just can't let it go.
Yeah, I won't say it's all of it, because that stuff can get passed down. Because there are younger people who absorb that type of content and they find it hilarious.
Let's be honest. Not enough people checked they perverted nasty uncles at the cookout. Not enough people are checking they daddies that sit there and talk about how women are lesser than and they need to just do this and that and fall into certain roles.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's why we kind of started this podcast, because we wanted to be able to say that we are about holding other men accountable when it comes to especially black men.
And I find it so amusing when it comes to making sure men are taking accountability. It's almost as if we're there's a certain population or a certain community that will absorb it as if we're betraying our gender.
Simp.
And then it's almost as if it's a projection and they talk about us as if we're the panderers.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, my brother, you're part of the problem. It's not an issue to let women lead. It's in the big 26, in the big 2026, we're really getting upset about what a woman is doing.
And not even just that, men getting upset. The most recent Boosie controversy, like men getting upset about what other men are doing. That's what really
y'all still getting mad about painted fingernails in the big 26. Prince had his ass cheeks out and still got women. What is missing?
Everything.
What is
apparently.
wrong with painted fingernails?
Their insecurities.
It's not gay. It's not gay to have painted fingernails. It's not gay.
You want to know something?
Tell me something.
Wait, let me find the post because Boosie had so much to say about the new Madden cover.
Yeah, we were saying he was pretty much saying, "Oh, you're shoving this down our throats. This is a conspiracy to
I've never
spread the
understood that.
LGBTQ agenda." Well,
I've never understood that. What agenda do y'all think is being?
Hey,
pushed?
where's the agenda? Where is the LGBTQ agenda? Just like Project 2025. Where is that agenda?
Let me read this off.
Pull up those documents right now.
Because if you would notice, he has his fingernails painted here. And he already has said back in college, it's like to honor his mother or something like that. So that's why he does it. So Boosie decides to post fingernails painted on Madden. Rrr. Young boys look up to you, bro. Shaking my head. And, hey, Caleb, this is the example you set for them. Aw, players should grab your, in the locker room, call you Carrie every time they see you. Every time they see. I almost had an aneurysm trying to read that. You want respect from your teammates, and your hands look like they nails at home. Shaking my head. Whoever thought you would see this on a Madden cover? I feel sorry for these kids. Look at this man. Look at this man.
I'm telling you.
He needs help.
Siri, how old is Boosie? Boosie, 43 years old. I forget. He's a millennial. Boosie is an older millennial.
And you know what? He'll say this. Did he have anything to say about this? Do you know who that is?
I'm not seeing what you're seeing.
Oh. You see this?
Dennis Rodman?
That man from Dallas. Yeah. You see this? You see this?
With the black and mild.
I bet Boosie wouldn't say nothing to him.
With the black
I
and
bet
mild.
he was. Like, this isn't new. Like, what are we talking about? What are we doing?
It makes perfect sense for him to take a picture like that. He's from Chicago. He has his nails painted, and he's also known as the Iceman over there in Chicago.
It's cold. That was a cold picture.
It makes perfect sense. About? Let's think, Mark. Think.
And this isn't new that he paints his nails. Like, this isn't even new.
There's nothing wrong with it.
He's been doing it since college.
You're making something out of nothing. That's that old boomer teachings that have latched on to the older millennials that half of our generation just can't shake off.
And that's what annoys me the most, because you go in the comment section and this one guy was on there talking about, yeah, y'all forcing me to have this conversation with my son. And then I was like, are y'all not able to
What's wrong with having the conversation?
Are you not able to navigate a conversation with your child? Are you not intelligent enough to be able to do that? Why are you having a child? Well, I no. Then someone comes in. Nah, y'all don't understand. Y'all acting obtuse. He's saying he shouldn't be forced to have this conversation sooner than he wants to. The world don't wait on you.
When are you gonna have that conversation? If not, kids are not stupid, bro.
They don't want to have a conversation. They want
you
their
don't
kids.
Want to talk about it.
They want their kids to assimilate to their style of doing things just off of osmosis, I guess.
Bro,
like it makes no sense.
I remember having a conversation about this with a former colleague of mine, where when it comes to discussing anything about the LGBTQ community, they automatically think sex, and it's like, y'all need to stay out of their bedroom. Okay, when it comes to talking about anything LGBTQ related,
that says a lot about them, that their mind always goes to sex when it comes to that stuff. It
immediately goes to sex. It just let it be. It's not an issue, bro.
For me, the most immediate conversation you should have with a child when it comes to the LGBTQ plus community is understanding, acceptance, and empathy.
And love.
Yeah, just to let them know that yeah, there are people out there that do not live or have the same views as you. That does not mean you should treat them a different way, and that you should be accepting of all people no matter what, and have empathy for they are going to have struggles that you may not face, but you still need to be aware that they're going through that. So that way you can either support, be an ally, or help shield them from said struggles. Just as they should do the same for you.
Yeah, I think it's imperative to lead by example and say just as much as we have to have the talk with our future black kids, or with black children about law enforcement. There are families out here that have to have a similar conversation about the struggles of being in the LGBTQ plus community. I have gay family members that I can only imagine what they go through. So it come on, none of us are free till all of us are free.
Bro, the world is hard enough without us trying to make it harder on each other.
Exactly.
But some people take a lot of joy in causing difficulties in others' lives, which I just don't have that energy in me, bro. Call me lazy. Just let people be, bro. Like, I don't got time for that.
The intersections of life are so fascinating to me. I'm reminded of a civil rights activist known as Polly Murray. Their pronouns would be they them. They'll be considered they them now. Back then it would have been she her.
Okay.
But Polly Murray played a role with Thurgood Marshall. Murray, and I'm paraphrasing right now. And feel free to look up Polly Murray. I'm so intrigued by the activists. They were a scholar. They were involved in the civil rights movement. And one thing I just found so intriguing at the time, and again, I'm paraphrasing, at the time, it was saying, I have to look out for my people first as black people. And then I have to look out for myself as a black woman at the time, as a black woman. And then I got to look out for myself as a gay person, as being queer or being an LGBTQ. That's tough. Come on. Mm-hmm. That's 3 layers. I only got to deal with one. Okay.
And then just think, what if they were disabled or handicapped in some capacity?
Dog. Yes. Layers upon layers upon layers when the white male has become the standard. And now when you don't get the attention that you want anymore, or when people are trying to even the playing field, you think it is an attack on you. Because we were talking off camera about how the manosphere, white supremacy, racism, all that stuff, it's just unnecessary competition. When instead of just working with your fellow neighbor and enjoying, this collection of cultures that we have on this earth, you use it to be defensive and to project and attack and just do all this unnecessary things. And it's not helping your fellow brethren. It's not helping the proletariat. It's not doing anything for me. It's making it harder for everybody else.
Do you want to see the current face of that?
Tell me. Show me.
It is, what is this man's name? Dalton. This man. Chud the Builder.
Chud the Builder. You know what?
He's the current face of that. Just was out there spewing hate and vitriol for no reason.
He should be behind bars. Absolutely.
And this is a picture from, I think, his most recent bond hearing. And the judge had laid it out in the beginning, basically saying, the fact that you discharged a firearm and you're not even supposed to have one outside of a courthouse. He said, literally, if you would have walked 20 to 23 feet and did this, you wouldn't be in this much trouble. But the fact that you did it literally right outside the premises, you're in a world of trouble. And, all right, so weird random fact about me. I love hearing prison stories and stuff like that. So a former Aryan Brotherhood member he was talking about people think, and this is just him saying it.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, people think that, you know, being part of the brotherhood means that we hate all people. He's like, no, we just believe in having pride and all that. So that guy, whatever he's doing, we don't like that. We don't respect that. And you know what? He gonna go in and he gonna have to pay for protection. Because guess what? We don't walk around just doing that. You know, your respect is all you got. And you don't just walk around disrespecting people just based off of race.
You said the key word, bro, is respect. Because his argument will be, I can say whatever I want. It's a free country. Don't you believe in the First Amendment? Are you, he's a First Amendment absolutist. Hey, that's fine and dandy. You know, I will protect your speech just as much as you want to protect mine. But just because you can say it doesn't mean you should. And at the end of the day, it's a matter of respect. If you respect your fellow man, you won't put yourself in a situation where you have to defend. Why are you defending racism? Why are you using the First Amendment for the wrong reasons?
Because
you're using the First Amendment to attack your fellow neighbor when you should be using it towards the things that impact your daily life.
I guess I've just never understood why they had. What is the common misconception with the idea of freedom of speech and how it's actually applied?
Freedom of speech does not mean freedom of consequences, brother.
Just so that way they can make sure we're not saying anything stupid. Let's show them how the First Amendment is actually applied. Because I think people really get it messed up when they're like, oh, my First Amendment rights, freedom of speech, freedom of speech. It's like, you do know that this doesn't apply to private businesses?
Yeah, didn't he get kicked out of a restaurant?
Yeah, and then he tried not to pay for his $400 tab, and that's what he originally got. He got arrested for, so he was already out on bond for that, and then he did his most recent thing.
You know, people just find joy in the chaos, and it's disappointing. But we need to be aware of things like this. Because they'll give you dog whistles. These dog whistles are everywhere, man. They've even infiltrated our into the things that we enjoy. If you're not careful, the manosphere will reach its hands into places where it doesn't need to be infiltrated. It's already, it's already taken over gaming for like the past ever since we've started having online gaming, it's been infiltrated.
It is entrenched in it.
Bro, I can vividly recall the grape jokes. And this is when I was in middle school, man.
All those jokes, the black jokes,
yes. And I feel sorry for this, for today's generation who go through that because it's amplified, it's metastasized. It's something that's it's not recognizable anymore, and it's just pure disgusting. And then you have people who are testing the limits so much so they're making video games called Plantation. What's it called?
I saw that. It's disgust. I can't remember what it was, but it's disgusting.
Plantation Simulation. Like, we think that's
makes
funny
me think,
now.
Where does all this hate come from? But to stay on the topic though.
Yeah.
When people think about the First Amendment rights, just so they don't think that we're just coming off the cusp with this. First thing you got to remember, the First Amendment safeguards 5 core freedoms: speech, press, religion, assembly, and petitioning the government. Ooh, remember that last one, because everyone says they hate protests and all that. It only protects your right to say what you believe. It not only protects your right to say what you believe, it protects your right not to be forced to agree with something you disagree with. These rights apply to popular opinions and unpopular ones alike. Importantly, the First Amendment protects citizens from government censorship, but it does not apply to private actors like employers or social media companies. This means a private company can illegally fire an employee for their speech, a consequence that would not be permissible if the employee were the government. Schools are largely considered to be a place where speech is protected. In the 1960s, when a high school tried to punish students wearing armbands to protest the Vietnam War, the Supreme Court in Tinker versus Des Moines Independent Community School District ruled the protest could continue as long as it wasn't disruptive, because students don't lose their First Amendment rights in school. I'm just saying that's pretty straightforward to me.
Yeah.
So I don't see how they always try to redefine what the First Amendment is.
Yeah, this red pill stuff. It's the red pill community that they're so loud and annoying, and
The boisterousness is ridiculous.
absolutely. Do you remember when it wasn't that long ago when they were yapping about Ghost of Yote?
Oh yeah.
It wasn't that long ago when they were yapping about Assassin's Creed Shadows, and they were banking on that game to lose, to fail.
Mm.
Asian female protagonist with Yasuke, a historical black, like the first black on record in Japan samurai, and it's a fictional story about situations that happened in history.
And that ate them up. Like that
The game was a success.
What I still don't get is, why does it matter? Like, just play the game or don't. You can have an issue with it. It's the public outcry against it is what I don't understand. It's like, why are y'all putting so much energy into things you don't like?
When it comes to the patriarchy, there's a sense of ownership to the things that they latch on to.
One of the main people reacting to the God of War Lafay thing,
mm-hmm.
He was like, "Stop trying to put this in my game. Stop trying to put this in my da-da-da. Stop trying to put this in my movies. Da-da-da." It's like, bro, is this your only
It's
identity?
for everybody. Once it goes to the public, it's not for you anymore.
Is the things that you like your whole identity?
Can we expand on that on the new God of War story? Because for those who don't know, and just maybe to catch a handful of people up to speed, there is a new chapter in the God of War series where, in this case, it's not focusing on the main character for like the past 10, 15 years, Kratos. It's focusing on the protagonist is now
his wife.
It's his wife now. And
who is a frost giant.
Yes, I had to look it up. And so the officials behind the new God of War game, they were saying, we'll always tell stories about Kratos, but I think for you, it was just a chance to talk about somebody who was so pivotal to the beginning. So it's not a departure, they say, they call it an expansion. And that I got that quote from IGN. So and that's perfectly fine. After watching the trailer and some of the gameplay, I'm interested. I've always been interested in the God of War series. I've never had a PlayStation, but when we saw the new installment on the PS4 where he has a son, Atreus and whatnot.
Where do you think that son came from?
Yeah, like that's you know what? I'll give them one breadcrumb. Maybe they were expecting to play as Atreus in the next God of War, which is fair to think that. It's fair.
They had the opportunity to in Ragnarok, and all of them hated it.
Maybe they want like, I want a more mature. They just want the grunt, heavy built, muscular Kratos guy, and Atreus not built like that.
They wanted Atreus to play like, they basically wanted Atreus to be a faster version of Kratos, and he's not.
It's not gonna happen.
It's not. And it goes back to what I said previously. These people just don't read anymore. Like if you were a fan of books, then you understand character types. You understand roles that characters play, and all of them that don't read anymore don't have an understanding of different genres of just literature. It doesn't expose them to the different character types, different story typing, and also how actual good progression and character development is. Like Kratos has developed to a point to where you look at him in the beginning games, which also y'all are getting a remaster of the first 3 God of Wars. Yes. Calm down.
With T.C. Carson as the original voice.
Like, gosh, y'all, I don't get it. This new era of gaming is just so ungrateful. It's like they want everything to be new and fancy and shiny, but also don't change it too much. It's just a
What are you doing with
recurring.
my games?
It's just a recurring cycle of bitterness towards the things you're supposed to like. But here's what kind of a brief to catch
During
people up.
the latest
Sure.
State of Play, Sony finally revealed the trailer for the newest God of War game, God of War Lao Fei. And folks, the game looks amazing. Like, I personally do not have a PS5, but I was watching that trailer kind of
Neither
sad
do
that I
I.
don't currently own one. And because of that price hike, I don't think that's happening anytime soon. But there are some folks that are mad because it's called God of War Lao Fei, but it doesn't focus on Kratos. And I'm just like, what? I feel like the argument is dumb because we all know that God of War, the God of War IP, has evolved into something that's more than just Kratos. There are so many other characters within this story. And personally, I feel like Kratos' story was finished in Ragnarok. That was the perfect closing to his chapter. I don't think we need any more Kratos story, so it makes sense to move on to a different character. And I don't think that means you got to change the name of the IP. It's still within the God of War universe. You're still using God of War characters. I don't get why we're complaining. The game looks freaking fantastic. I need it in my life. Stop complaining about dumb shit. It's a great game.
And who's to say Kratos and Atreus can't make another comeback inside the game? Like,
they will be parts of it. They will be
Atreus.
integral to it.
Yeah, the consumer got to play as Atreus in God of War. Was it Ragnarok, the 2nd one? So who's to say you can't play as Kratos one more time in Lao Fei? There's no just enjoy the story, man. Damn, the story is expanding. There's nothing wrong with that.
And if you don't like it, don't make a big fuss about it. Thank you. Just don't play. No one's making you buy it. Oh, I hate that they're making games $70 now. Then don't buy it.
Hey, I want to buy that new 007 First Light. $70 is crazy.
But guess what? I got Afterpay.
What was that?
You got me fucked up if you think I'm about to give y'all $70 at one time. Come get it back in
for
blood.
a game is crazy. You definitely got me messed up.
Come get it over time. I feel better.
$70 is wild. Like, and then you have these companies, these billionaire companies like, Grand Theft Auto is going to be like $80, $90. And that we should do the same thing for every other game. Hold it there, partner.
Stop right there.
I'm
I call the police.
I'm going to flip it to sports.
Yes.
So that and what you just laid out, essentially, that if Rockstar sets the bar now at $80 to $90 games, it now raises the floor to where that's the new norm. That's what people got mad at the Cleveland Browns for giving Deshaun Watson that fully guaranteed contract, because now you done set the floor, and it happens with all the new contracts, especially now you're about to start seeing a lot of Dallas Cowboy fans that are upset at the current wide receiver market, because like wide receiver 3s and wide receiver 2s getting paid $25 million a year now. So now we probably going to have to pay George Pickens over $30 million. So yeah, it's one of those things where they just inflate the market with stuff like that. And if you do it to a high enough extent, other people are going to be mad. But at the same time, it's going to be like, well, that's the new standard.
It shouldn't have to be that way, because Grand Theft Auto has been anticipated for years. And the amount of work that they're putting into it, it's on the assumption that it's going to be worth it. So if you're going to sell me an $80, $90 game, damn near $100, if I'm going to damn near spend $100 to play a video game, y'all have to put in the work. Y'all have to make it worth my time to play this game.
I want you to know.
And that's the assumption that Grand Theft Auto is going to be doing.
I want you to know what they're going to do is essentially ensure that we have another GTA 5 longevity with GTA 6. Because just think, people are like, why is it taking so long to get this new game? Brother, they've made roughly $10 billion in revenue since it got released.
That's according to who?
I'm looking at 5 different sources of how they've netted, of what they've netted over the years, because it's original release. What was your original release? Oh, September 17th, 2013. It came out on PS3 and Xbox 360. I remember getting it on PlayStation 3. And then September 18th, 2014, it came out on PS4 and Xbox One. And then in 2022, they put it out on PS5 and Xbox Series X and all that. So it had multiple releases over 3 generations of consoles.
Mm-hmm.
That, yeah, I can easily see it making that revenue. And then also when it came with that shark card and its online transactions, where people were just basically paying to get all the nice stuff, which is probably another pandemic as well too. The microtransaction era, I think, is starting to come to an end.
I'm
You
done with
starting to
that.
see, like, look at 007, look at the new Wolverine movie Wolverine game that's coming out, and
That
so
one
many
looks
other.
really good.
Like,
too.
bro, State of Play was great for single player exclusives.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think we're back in that era where it's like, you know what? Let's just give these people a good, fun single player game.
I'm always down for a good
Crimson
story. I'm always down for a good story. I had to write this down, and I just want to express it real quick since we're talking about how folks are just getting mad about God of War Laufey, and it reminds me of the time when the Red Pill gamers and the Manosphere they were just bashing Naughty Dog's new franchise, Intergalactic, all because they saw a female, a black woman, bald-headed black woman main character.
I believe
And that was it. And they immediately just labeled it woke.
What was that?
So we haven't even seen any gameplay. It was just a teaser trailer, immediately labeled woke. And so at this point, if you're going to call anything woke as a critique, then you might as well just keep it on Front Street and just say how you really feel. Don't say woke like that. That's just that's the scapegoat. Say it out your chest. Say it with your chest. How do you really feel seeing a black bald-headed female character as a main protagonist for a new franchise for Naughty Dog?
Oh yeah, it irked them. Also, I was able to go back and do some reference checks on how much they've sold.
Mm-hmm.
Brother, that was only counting how many units have been sold. This wasn't counting their online transactions and how much they've made off of that. Since January of 2015, when they hit 40 million units sold, August of 2025, they had sold 215 million. If we undersell that at $50 per, because, they had deals where they would sell it for like 30 on Christmas and all that and do bundle packs and stuff, you're sitting at roughly 10.7 billion. That's not with their online transactions and all that.
I mean, we've seen the upgraded graphics.
Brother, GTA
we've seen
6,
the pushbacks.
GTA 6
we've
is
seen
just about to be game the game. That's what GTA 6 is going to be. It's going to be game the game.
How many times have they pushed back the deadline for GTA 6?
I don't know. It's supposed to be coming out this year in November, but then also look at they just keep putting out. Look at Bethesda and Skyrim. How many times have they pushed out a different Skyrim on something different?
How many times did they push back Cyberpunk and they needed to push it back?
They needed to. But also look at what a good product would do. That's why I went to Skyrim. How many different consoles is Skyrim? I'm about to look there. How many different consoles is Skyrim? How many versions of Skyrim are there? Because they've ran that on everything. And this came out in 2011. This is ridiculous. Every version of Skyrim you can play in 2025.
Isn't the new Skyrim a female protagonist?
No, Skyrim's the same. They did a remaster of
what game am I
Oblivion.
thinking? Witcher.
Yeah, Witcher. They're going to use Siri. That's actually once we get off. That's what I'm about to go back to playing. I'm trying to brute force a boss right now, and it's not working. So I'm just going to keep at that until I beat it because I'm way under leveled for this boss. But I always try to beat it when I do a playthrough because it gives you a lot of experience. Because I don't believe in going through the story as a regular person. I like being overpowered.
I am a firm believer of playing the side missions.
Grind.
That's the fun part of the game. And there's more story to it.
And also that comes from us being BioWare fans because we
Yes.
loved Mass Effect, Jade Empire,
Yes.
KOTOR,
Yes.
all those. Like they taught us that. But to go back to what I was saying, try to keep count. They got Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Special Edition for the Switch. They got Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Edition VR. You can play it also on PC, PS5, and Xbox. They have regular Skyrim, which you can play on the PS5, Xbox, and PC. You also have... we're going slow now. There we go. So that's when it originally came out in 2011. PC, PS3, Xbox 360. That is ridiculous to think this came back all the way in 2011. And then they already have multiple versions out of this thing. And then you got Special Edition, PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Skyrim Special Edition on Nintendo Switch, Skyrim VR, and then Skyrim Anniversary Edition, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, that came out in 2021. And then you got even more editions that came out for on some other indie platforms. So right now there are like 20 versions of Skyrim out there. That's what happens when you have an IP that's good. That's what Rockstar is going to do with GTA 6. They're going to make sure that this stays on probably the next 3 generations of consoles.
Just like how Naughty Dog is doing it with The Last of Us.
I'll say 2. Yeah, because Sony is never going to let that IP fade away. I don't know what they're about to do after Last of Us.
You got a
2.
successful television show out of it, and then the fans, they consistently want a remastered version on newer generation consoles.
I swear, if they do a version of The Last of Us where it's like an alternate universe where Joel stays alive, it may be their best-selling game of all time.
Yeah, I can only play half of The Last of Us. The
Why?
part where it switches to Abby, it's like, I really don't want to get... Like, the part where you have to face Ellie at the theater, that's the part I'm like, all right, I'm pretty much done. I will stop the game, skip that chapter, move to the next one, and reset all of my gear if I have to. Because I don't feel like dealing with all that. Nah.
I like that they took the plunge of completely going for a good story over giving the fan base what they wanted. Because, of course, the fan base wanted more of, Joel and Ellie going through, hopefully finding some type of peace. But them subverting that, I think, was a good move as far as staying true to who they are. I don't think that it did the franchise too much good.
I would say that the storytellers behind The Last of Us tried to give it the cyberpunk treatment, where it's like there are no happy endings, and just like how there are no happy endings in Night City, there's no happy ending in the world of The Last of Us. Like everyone
you
pretty much
can't have
loses.
You can't have
The
a
Last
happy
of
ending
Us.
in that, because it's based on the idea of humans. We aren't inherently built to survive in that atmosphere, so there was no way that was going to be a happy ending. Like the world was not going to go back to its same. The world was honestly going to die out, and we were just holding on to the last remnants of it. And it was a story. I think it's because so many people look to video games for escapism that video games that don't reward hope can feel like a downer, especially if, like I said, since people don't read, they're only used to hearing victory stories. Like the stories we read, not every story we read ended good.
No, I mean, I was devastated when Dom died when Dom died in Gears of War. I was devastated, but that was the end of his story, unfortunately.
My favorite anime of all time, Full Metal Alchemist. I was devastated when Ed lost his ability to do alchemy, and that's why I consider it the greatest anime of all time, because the deepness and the depth that they try to attribute to Attack on Titan, I don't think that it really embodies what people try to give it credit for. I think that's what Full Metal Alchemist did, because the truth, the overall bad entity in the story, I think personified so much more of a real life thought and process as opposed to what Attack on Titan was trying to do.
Now, I love Attack on Titan. I believe Attack on Titan is awesome storytelling, but the critique that I have seen multiple times about that anime is that certain fans were holding on to hope that Aaron would be 10 toes down in his decision when he started the rumbling, when in actuality, he was a scared boy. He was scared, and he admitted that in the story. So much so that the author said that Aaron was somewhat a reflection of him, and that he didn't know how to where to take that story. He wasn't 10 toes down in the decisions that he made when it came to writing Attack on Titan. And that's that ultimate flaw that we saw in Aaron Yeager is what made the story complete. But folks were wanting that badass dude that we saw in season 4, where he's like shirtless, flaring the shirt and whatnot. I'm starting a whole genocide. I'm taking out 98% of the world's population, and I'm going to be 10 toes down on it. When in actuality, when he was having that confession with Armin, he was pretty much saying, I'm scared. I had so much power and I did not know what to do with it. And this is the result that came from this decision, because of that fear that I was having. And so when the author took off that mask for the consumer, it pissed them off. Writing the story like that made it even better to me.
I think it's definitely a top 10 story in anime if you're just looking at action anime.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's up there. I still put Full Metal Alchemist 1 and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood above it, just based upon the real life application of the story as opposed to this, which I do think that it does. But I think that Attack on Titan, when it came to its story base, I think it tried to emulate more of a Mobile Suit Gundam and G Gundam and Wing Gundam type politics and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where some people want to give it a 10 out of 10. I give it more of an 8.9 out of 10 because I don't think that it married those two. I saw what it was trying to do. I don't think it landed the plane that well.
It's the time loop theory that makes it entertaining.
It makes it entertaining.
From my perspective, that
I think
time loop theory gave it that extra push.
I think it was a bailout.
Really?
I think he wrote himself into a wall, and the time loop helped.
I love a good time loop theory story. So,
but also I think that's a cop out though, because it's so easy. Because like, look at how. Have you read the End of Chainsaw Man?
No, I've taken a break on it. There's a different manga that I'm reading.
But yeah, that's me. It's like whenever they have to make it like, well, they're a time traveler, and all this was set in motion back. I think that's just an easy way to write yourself out of a corner.
If you're not careful the way Isayama did it, then it can just go all over the place, and it'll be just as convoluted and maybe just as confusing as how the Russo brothers did it with Marvel, with Endgame. Because if for a second it did get confusing.
I agree, and I think that's where my issue came from, because the writing was good. I liked the twist. I liked the political linings it had with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was better off with a nobody survives type ending as opposed to putting it into a perpetual loop.
I wonder if authors and writers nowadays, they're trying to avoid writing the happy ending story, and they're leaning more towards reality-based, unpredictable endings and whatnot. I mean, that's why people are enjoying shows like Game of Thrones, because you can't predict certain characters and whatnot and what happens to them. And the the few times that you do get a happy ending, they're like swiped away from you. Here, like, what's another example? Like, what's the show called? It's on Netflix, but it's also a cult classic. Devilman Crybaby. I've never known an anime like that to have an happy ending.
But I think that comes from the origin of the story and things like that, and how they set it up initially. Like with the way Attack on Titan was set up, it did make sense from the beginning. You had hope, but you knew no one was coming out of this alive.
The way that it was, I would say, the way it was displayed in season 1 and 2, because it had that Shonen Jump feel, where it's like, the good guys, they're gonna win in the end.
I disagree.
But the seasons kept getting darker and darker.
I disagree just because from the first episode, the man lost his mother in a very gruesome way, just like the same way Berserk has its intro to build guts to who he is.
Mm-hmm.
You can't start it like that and have people thinking, yeah, it's going. Here's some hope. Don't worry, it's going to get better. It's not. Like the way that government was set up and the way that everything was happening, there was only going to be one way. Everything had to start all the way over. Like everything had to be wiped clean. And that's why I was happy with him in the rumbling, because I was like, oh, he's about to wipe everything out and just completely start everything over, and he knows this is his ending. And then it just turned into a perpetual loop, and it's just like, all right, what are you gonna do? Give us a reboot in 5 years where someone breaks the loop, and then next thing you know, Aaron gets born back as a chance to live again just to appease fans.
But they already answered that question. They already answered that question in the series.
Oh yeah, that's why I was just saying, it's from how it was in the beginning, how it was from its inception. I just knew there was no way everyone was supposed to live.
But is it safe to ask you don't like time loop theories? You don't like time loop stories?
It's not that I don't like them. I think that if done well, it's a good story. But with the way that it came off in Attack on Titan, it felt like a easy way to get out of a hole.
So, would you like a show similar to, or would you like a show like ReZero?
I'm still getting through it.
Death by Restart, whatever. Restart by Death.
I mean, I like it because I also like what's the name of that stupid anime that I've been watching? I still got to finish it. It's about that guy that keeps going back in time as a middle schooler, and
he's like part of a gang or something.
Yeah, Tokyo Revengers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I like that. I'm still not finished with it, and then same thing with ReZero. Those are animes where they just don't like the protagonist at all.
Yeah, like Chainsaw Man and stuff like that.
I hate that. That ending pissed me off so much.
Yeah, that's a fair. I would say Chainsaw Man's ending is understandable as to why people were upset. Well, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how this all plays out. I'm looking forward to a good story when it comes to going back to gaming, but I am looking forward to a good story with God of War, Lao Fei. I didn't see the same villainization when it came to Leon Kennedy with Resident Evil Requiem. I figured I thought it felt as if it was a nice balance of having that cool character who's aged and still and can still kick butt, but still manages the female gaze and whatnot. And if I can just have a hot take real quick, I think that's the issue for a lot of these Manosphere gamers. They are mad that the protagonist is not appealing to the male gaze.
You know what we call that?
I'm not gonna go that route, but I will say that
I will.
There are some conversations that you need to have within yourself as to why you are feeling so obligated to want to claim a certain game or story when it's not yours.
I don't like women in my games.
Women in gaming this has been going on for decades, and now there's like this pocket of people who are being loud and obnoxious about it. Like, did we not just have a good time with Ghost of Yotei?
Did we not just have a good time with Horizon Zero Dawn?
That's a good game. Great story.
Y'all love that.
Like, did we not just have a good time with The Last of Us?
Y'all loved Blood
playing
Rain.
Ellie. But what's another one?
Blood Rain, a PS2 classic. They even made a movie about it.
See, but they want their characters to have that sex appeal. You know, they want.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
They want their female protagonists to have a sex appeal. They want a Bayonetta. That's what you want.
Oh yeah, they love Bayonetta because basically it was
want
a female version of Dante from Devil May Cry.
Yeah, that's what you really want. Because when you said Blood Rain, I'm like, Bayonetta. That's what they want. They want sex appeal.
Oh, they do, because Bayonetta's whole outfit was just her hair wrapped around her.
It was just the LGBTQ community. They have taken Bayonetta as their own.
The Queen of Vogue.
Because she be hitting that.
She really do.
She really do. She be having that shit on.
Bro, those cut scenes with her reloading with her feet and all that, I'll be like, she cold.
She has, the guns are her heels.
Bro, it's the over-the-topness of Devil May Cry. Like, they had a weekend sale on the Devil May Cry games on Switch, so I got Devil May Cry 1 and 3 for like $10 all together. For one, y'all aren't real gamers. Y'all did not have to go through the old school controls of back in the day, because Devil May Cry 1 is a chore to play after playing modern games.
Any game back in the day is a chore, low key. I'm trying to. Here's another game with a female protagonist. Has, I would say, no sex appeal, but still tells a wonderful story. And we're getting a sequel this year. Control. You get to play his brother this year.
Yep, and I bet it sells great now.
Yeah, and Control is like. Control is as if Doctor Strange and Men in Black had a baby.
With a little bit of with a little bit of Returnal.
It's a good game. What's wrong with having a female protagonist? There's nothing. There's really nothing wrong with having a female protagonist in your video games. At this point, you're just childish. You're being immature. Get over it, man. You'll be all right. As a matter of fact, make the game that you want.
You know, y'all complain so much about make a game.
If you're that pressed about it, do your part to make the game that you want. Oh, I just thought about it, Nick. You can't. Because when you do, you make stupid ass games like Plantation Simulation or what's the one? The Grape Simulation one? That was released on Steam Deck. You come up with stupid shit like that.
Oh no, I was going to go back to them old days. Like, what was it that on the SNES or the Atari 600 where it was a cowboy trying to make it over to like a Indian woman on a post?
I remember that. That's old. I'm trying. There's like an old raunchy Xbox game.
Oh, I remember the name of it. It was like this guy, right?
The Guy game.
The Guy game, and also the
Leisure Suit Larry.
Leisure Suit Larry, yes.
Yeah. You want games like that. That's what you want.
Or BMX XXX.
Yeah. That's the type of games that you want. You don't want substance. You don't want emotion. You don't want complex situations. You don't want any of that.
Harrowing you don't want any story. You don't want character development.
No,
you don't want a story that's going to make you cry and hurt. Like the beginning of The Last of Us, when Joel was holding his daughter as she was dying after getting shot, brought me to tears.
Crazy intro.
Now that is storytelling Because you just hear, Dad, please. And I was just like,
we're not sick. Wow. Grow up.
ooh,
Grow up.
ooh.
Golly.
You eat booty?
I know. I'm going to update this soundboard. You ready to wrap things up, bro?
Yeah, we can.
We can wrap things up. Hey,
we
the
just
message of the day, the message behind this episode of Porch Light Theory, grow the hell up.
It's Mental Health Month. Take some time and just get some therapy, brother. If you are waking up angry at the world, angry at what other men are doing, angry at what other women are doing, especially people who you don't even see on your in your day-to-day on a regular basis, why get help. Stop
it.
Get help.
Immediately.
Shout out MJ. Stop it. Get help.
Help is available.
What was that commercial?
If you have health insurance, it can be covered. It can be covered by your health insurance. But you know what? You're too mad to not punch at the patriarchy. But you think the right thing to do is to punch left and right, which ends up being people of color and women. Gosh. But this whole time, it's the patriarchy. It's capitalism. It's racism that's holding you back from getting the things that you want in life. But
exactly,
eventually you'll get it. Eventually you'll get it.
And you know what? If you wake up every morning thinking about what another man or woman is doing and you don't even know that person.
I'm Michael Jordan. Stop it. Get some help.
Period. It's okay.
That man had to have been on steroids
because
he did not look the same after that 1 year.
That's when he still had a hairline. That's crazy.
Gilbert Arenas made a good point where he was like, bro, they were all on steroids back then. They only got tested once a year. So the day after shoot up, why were all these people bald at 28?
That was life back then. They were smoking cigarettes during halftime.
But was yoked up.
Who was it? Muggsy? What's his name? The shortest NBA player who can dunk?
Yeah, people try to tell me LeBron wouldn't live in the 90s and all that, but y'all had Muggsy Bogues out here averaging 15.
The 90s. I'm good. I'm looking forward to the same conversation, 20, 30 years from now when, we're going to be defending the 2000s and the 2010s. I'm looking forward to that change. But anyway,
I love the crossover. Well, I'll just end on this. I love the crossover that Kobe had and the longevity, and the same thing for LeBron because they would have spanned multiple eras. And people all talk about, well, he played in a weak era. No, he played in the 2003s, 2010s. Are you trying to say Kobe played in a weak era? Well, no, Kobe, but he played the same people Kobe did.
And y'all love Kobe.
He played the same people as Kevin Garnett. He played the same people as Tim Duncan. But are you going to tell me all of a sudden all that's weak? And also it's 87-75. The Knicks are up with 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
I'm ready for chaos in New York City.
I want the Knicks to win so bad.
If and when the New York Knicks win, I need Mayor Mondani to appear on Times Square like an evil villain.
He needs to put on
citizens of New York.
He needs to put on a Spider-Man costume and just be at the top of the Empire State Building.
I need to hear Funk Master Flex one more time. New York City, you listen to me.
Spike Lee.
Go to your nearest bodega, reach into the cash register. Their money is your money as of right now.
There's going to be bacon, egg, and cheeses all over the street.
San Antonio, you be okay. You be all right not winning this. I need to see mayhem in New York City. I'm ready
Just remember, San Antonio, there are more teams that have made it to the finals and never made it back than there are that made it to the finals and went right back.
You'll be okay
after
San
losing.
Antonio. Y'all had Tim Duncan. Come on, y'all be all right.
Y'all be all right.
You'll be all right. But New York needs this. I need to see the mayhem. I need to see the trouble.
If New York can finally break their drought, the Cowboys can too.
Absolutely. I hold on to hope. I am that delusional fan. But yeah. Let's go ahead and wrap things up. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to another episode of Porch Light Theory, where we have unfiltered conversations, but sometimes it is necessary. I'm Tristan. That's the coolest brother Nick, who's in the virtual room with us.
What's good, my niggas?
Yes, sir. Make sure you show us some love on social media. Follow us on TikTok and Instagram. Show us some love. We'll love you right back. And make sure you like, share, subscribe, and we'll talk to you later on with another episode of Porch Theory. We'll catch you later. Peace.